Hi guys, Captain Nick here with MarineMax in St. Pete, and today Keith and I are going to go over some emergency boating essentials, some stuff that you should always keep on your boat that could turn a situation that could end your day into just a little bump in the road. What do you got there?
Well, first off, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I get on a lot of boats and people actually don't have a first aid kit on board. So you got to be self-sufficient until you can make it back to the boat ramp, make it back to your dock or your trailer. A first aid kit, this is a prepackaged one, obviously. You can go to a store and just, make your own up if you want to. But just remember, you want to be able to stop bleeding. If you get a stingray barb, in it, you want to be able to alleviate the pain on that. And these kits will have all the different items. On the back, there will be a list of everything that's located in this little box. So first and foremost, be able to do some first aid so you can get up to where you can get better qualified treatment. Next is a VHF radio. If you're out on the water, you may not have cell phone service. A VHF radio, the marine frequencies, it stands for very high frequency. You'd be able to call the Coast Guard. You can call CETO, Towboat US, call a Marina Dockmaster. If there's other boats out on the water, you're going to be able to talk to somebody. You see the name of somebody's boat, you're not going to know their cell phone number, but you can call them on the radio if you need help. If there's inclement weather coming in, the Coast Guard is going to come on the radio and tell you, hey, there's severe storms moving in, all vessels seek shelter. If a channel marker's been knocked over, they're going to let you, know what's going on in that area you are. So VHF radio, this is a handheld. If you've got a bigger boat, a yacht, you're gonna have a fixed mount radio, which is gonna be more powerful, but they all still work on the same frequencies. This happens to be an ICOM. It floats, it's submersible. It's got a little feature in it that it'll shake and vibrate and knock the water out of the speaker so that you don't, the sound's not distorted. And then Nick's got a couple items, and if you stay tuned to the end of this video, we're gonna have a final item that's very crucial to improving your day out on the water when things go bad.
So this right here is my little go box. It's a hard orange box. I highly recommend getting one. This actually stays in my truck, stays in my garage, but I do not go on my boat without it. Show you what's in it here. Lay it all out. Up top, right here we have some oil. This is Beretta oil, but it works well on fishing gear too. Keep everything lubed up. Very important. Zip ties. Don't outsmart yourself. A zip tie really could save the day if something is moving and it should not be. That's what you got the zip ties for.
Yep.
Then right here is Benadryl. So I keep that in here. I've got a tree nut allergy. You never know what kind of allergies people have on board. If I accidentally ate something I shouldn't have and started to go into shock here, I'd have to go in, but you take the Benadryl. Bad news is you need to take a nap, but you probably don't need to go in. So that's something that I always
That's
keep
why
on
you
the
just
boat.
take half right there.
That's why you take half. So it saved one of my days before. Then in here, we talked about your zip ties. When something's moving and it shouldn't be. When something's not moving and it should be. There's Cleanse Oil. That is the name brand. They sell it in all the MarineMax parts departments. It smells good. Man, it'll bring reels back to life. It'll bring tools back to life. Get to that in a minute here. There's nothing worse than having the tools and then you go to grab an adjustable wrench and it's not moving and it's useless. Right. But Cleanse Oil will bring that back to life. Right here we've got two knives. We've got a straight blade and we've got a serrated blade right here. I like a serrated blade because I think it works well for if you get some sort of rope or line caught in the wheel or around your lower unit. You can do what you need to do with that.
Yep.
Over here in this little baggie, this is something that I always keep. That is my cord for the flashlight that we'll get to in a minute. I also keep a phone charger in there usually in case you need to charge up. And then right here, this is a spotlight flashlight. Very important. I like having one that you can recharge right there with a little micro USB or USB-C. Nothing worse than having a spotlight sun comes down, next thing you know, you go to light up the channel markers, you got no juice. So at least with one of these right here, you can see how much power you have. There I'm on about 75%. And you can always have light. And then of course right here I have all my different tools. Everybody goes crazy and stuff. They want to have all the tools in the world, and that's perfectly fine on a big boat where you have the storage to do it. But I have the essential tools, the stuff I'm gonna need. An adjustable wrench right here, which of course you're gonna need that cleanse oil for. Some side cutters. And then just the stuff that could save today. You got some wire strippers right there, some crimpers, your Phillips head, flathead screwdriver in there. Just the stuff that you're really gonna need. There's no sense of having a full toolkit on the boat, but then of course my little screwdriver set in here. But this stuff right here, like we were talking about at the beginning of the episode, there's things that happen, they come up and it's like, man, my day on the water is over. Okay, for instance, you pop your flush mount adapter off on where you're gonna flush your engine. You got water shooting out. No big deal. Little zip tie, little side cutters, you're back on the water.
Duct tape, electrical tape too, I'd throw in there just so, you know, if you got a hole in something, you can just kind of wrap it up.
One thing that I don't have in here that I need to get, and I think that it is super important, is one of those small EPIRBs, whether it's a Spot or those little EPIRBs, something that if you're really in a bad situation, a push of a button, believe me, the Coast Guard will be on their way, and for emergencies only. So that's what's in my kit right there.
Personal locator beacon, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, Garmin inReach, Spot Messenger makes one. There's a bunch of different ones out there. Some you pay an annual subscription for it, so they'll monitor it, kind of like your home alarm system. We've done other videos on that. If you go through the MarineMax website and YouTube and stuff like that, you can find that in there. And then we promised one last item. It's kind of common sense, but just a simple pair of gloves, right? So if you are working with sharp objects, you're down in a hot engine room, you're doing anything like that, you've got a pair of gloves to save your hand. The last thing you want to do is, you know, you're typically going to be out, your hands are going to be wet, they're more apt to get a cut or a tear on them, so throw some gloves on. And then also too, just, I mean, the ladies out there that have got, you know, your nails are done, you got a nice rock on your finger, you know, you got all these diamonds and jewelry, and you're handling dock lines, and the line slipping through your hand, it might be burning your hand, or you can catch the line on the stone. If you just, you know, put on a pair of gloves, just keep the gloves by your anchor rod, and if you have to do any of that stuff, if you're putting lines on a piling or whatever, just throw your gloves on. Then you don't have to worry about, you know, losing a ring or a stone or tearing up your hands. So gloves, great things to have on board a boat.
Hopefully this all helps. Put together your own little go kit right here. And if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead, drop them in the comments, and we love to hear about them. Until next time, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you out on the water.
See y'all.